Hello Pokemon fans, welcome to this week's special episode of The Dex. I'm PokeKellz.
And I'm Commander Alex. This week you're going to see the first of our 3-part trainer tips episode all about Eevee training.
Alex, no, not Eevee training. We were going to do an episode all about Eevee and his Eeveelutions. Oh, I get it. You're a jerk.
Yeah. That's right. Stupid jokes aside, we figured that Eevee and all his different evolutions were important enough to you guys that we're going to make a 3-part special about all of them. This week, we're doing Eevee himself. In 5 weeks, you get the Gen 1 evolutions, and 5 weeks after that, you get the other 4. Cool, right?
But Alex, what about Sylveon, the newest Eeveelution from Pokemon X and Pokemon Y? Doesn't Sylveon count too?
Well, yeah, I guess it counts, but we hardly know anything about Sylveon yet, so we'll wait till we know more about it before trying to do a whole episode on it. And why do you keep saying that?
Saying what?
Eeveelutions, it just sounds so silly.
Well, actually, Eeveelutions started out as a fan term for Eevee and all of his evolutions. But since Pokemon Stadium 2, it's been part of the actual terminology of the games.
Dope. Great job, guys. Oh, gosh.
What, you hate puns so much you can't go on? Poor baby.
No, I just realized that Eevee's called Eevee because he evolves. It's so obvious that I feel dumb.
I know what you mean. It stings, right? It's like that whole Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres thing. It's okay, that's why I'm the trivia girl and you're the battle guy. Besides, did you know that in the Pokemon Beta, Eevee wasn't called Eevee at all?
No? What they call him? Change-O? Choicey? Morph Dog?
No, he was called Eon, which is still the suffix for all of his Eeveelutions. And I wouldn't say he's so much of a dog, more like a fox or something.
Huh. Maybe you're onto something there. After all, there's plenty of varieties based on their environments. Just look at the desert fox, or the Arctic fox, or the red fox.
Yep, or even if you want to stick with the dog idea, Eevee's many forms could be a nod to how quickly dogs can change features through breeding, especially because you can't find any of Eevee's evolved forms in the wild.
Or what about the mythical Tanuki, a Japanese creature which traditionally is known to be a master shape changer and omen of good luck?
Could be. Anyway, you slice it though, Eevee's a real popular little guy. Practically everyone has him or one of his Eeveelutions on their top 10 lists.
Heck yeah, I'm one of them. Jolteon's my favorite Pokemon of all time. He's my boy.
Great, well, do you want to learn even more about Eevee?
Well, yeah, now he's pretty interesting.
Awesome. Time for class with Kells. Any Pokemon trainer worth their salt can tell you that all of Eevee's Pokedex entries have to do with the unique way in which he evolves. But the thing that they don't consider is that about half of them make a reference to how Eevee's DNA is unstable and that he may be an endangered species. Fans and experts alike have puzzled over the possible implications of this information, but 2 theories have become much more prevalent than the others. I present them here in an academic forum without any commentary. The first involves Ho-Oh and the legendary beast of Johto. Some people believe that when Ho-Oh brought back Entei, Raikou, and Suicune from the ashes of the burned tower, he did so by mutating the genes of 3 existing Pokemon. Eevee's unstable DNA, as well as the existence of the similarly typed Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon, make Eevee a likely candidate for this magical transformation. Secondly, because many of the entries mentioning its scarcity come from Red version, Blue version, and their GBA remakes, it is possible that at one point in time, Eevees were nearing extinction. Their subsequent popularity, especially among Pokemon trainers, has brought Eevee back into the fold, which is why they are now able to be found once again in the wild in Black and White 2. Class dismissed.
Whoa! That was some crazy stuff! Who knew Eevee had so much depth? Not me, I'll tell you that for sure.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, in fact, I'm so inspired by the little guy, I think I'm gonna do some Little Cup strategy for the itty bitty scamp.
I love Little Cup!
Okay, cool it. When it comes down to it, there's almost nothing very remarkable about Eevee as an option for your team until you consider his ability, Adaptability.
Adaptability doubles the power of all stab moves for Eevee, which really makes all the difference.
Right. So what you do is get an Eevee with a Jolly nature which promotes speed, or an Eevee with an Adamant nature which promotes attack, and then Eevee train it in attack and speed.
From there, just give him quick attack, bite, return, and baton pass, and let him hold the life orb for a little extra damage.
Baton Pass is a good scouting move, quick attack outspeeds some of Eevee's most dangerous foes, and with adaptability, return deals massive damage to anything that doesn't resist it.
Having bite in that last slot may not seem like the best option because of its low base power, but Eevee's really susceptible to ghosts, so it's kind of indispensable.
And that's it. Of course, that's not the only way to train an Eevee, so as always, here's a few random thoughts.
Training up a naive Eevee and teaching it work up can make for a pretty solid sweeper in some cases, but it requires quite a bit of guesswork and setup on the battlefield, so only try this if you're already a pretty experienced battler.
Eevee also has access to Yawn and Protect, which makes for a pretty annoying little combo.
Eeveeolite can also turn Eevee into a pretty formidable tank. Try it out to surprise your cleverest of foes.
And that's it! The first part of our Eevee special is done, and you'll see the next part in about 5 weeks.
Yep. In the meantime, we'll still be doing normal episodes, so be sure to leave a comment down below if you have a suggestion for what Pokemon we should do next. I'm PokeKellz.
And I'm Commander Alex. Tune in next week for another crazy episode of
The Dex. Eevee and his Eevee. Oh, I get it. You're a jerk.
Say goodbye. One of those last two. Great.